I've been journaling my whole life. I started with Dear Diary as a child, and I just kept it up throughout the majority of my life. I have journals that predate my child, and it has definitely been a game changer for me. It's one of those consistent, inconsistent practices of my life. As it is a new year, welcome back to the channel, by the way. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, all of those things. I just wanted to share with you 7 ways that I will be using my journaling practice to help me achieve some big goals that I have for myself this year, so that if you are a journaler as well, or you want to start journaling to incorporate it into your goal setting practice, then I have a few tips for you, because as I said, I've been using it for decades now, and it's definitely helped me to achieve some goals, but it's also helped me to manifest some big dreams that I just kind of put out there. And when I look back in my journal, I was like, wow, I didn't even remember this goal, but here it is. It has manifested my life. There is an Erykah Badu quote that has been memed, and it was floating around for years, that says something like, write that shit down and watch it manifest, or something like that. That's the gist of it. And it is so true. It is so powerful. There is definitely science behind writing things down and watching them become a part of your life, even if you don't know how you will achieve it, when you will achieve it. Your big dreams, your big goals, manifesting them or working towards them, if you don't believe in manifestation and all that woo stuff. Just writing down your goals helps you to figure out, it helps your brain to figure out what are the steps needed to achieve those goals. And as it is the start of a new year, yes, you see, I still even have my Christmas nails on. So one of my goals for this week is to change my nails. But it helps you to achieve your goals when you write things down, because our analytical brain, it starts to formulate a plan child. It's like, all right, this is what we're doing. Here's how we're going to do it. So as I said, I'm a big fan of journaling. I've been doing it forever. And if you're not new to the channel, then I used to live in Mexico, and I'm currently in a transition period where I'm moving back to Jamaica or moving on to something new, whatever is next. And so this year, especially the top half of the year, is a very critical year for me to kind of have a plan, know what I'm doing, map out my life pretty much. And I'm so sad that I left my last journal in Mexico in the big kind of rush to move and just pack everything and carry everything that I thought I needed. And I left my journal, and it's heartbreaking for me, such a big journaler, because that journal, I think I had it from 2021. So to show you, first of all, how inconsistent it is, I do not journal every day. You do not need to journal every single day. So if you think that, you're going to have to do it every single day, don't worry about it. You can still achieve your goals, and you can still get the benefits from journaling without having to do it every day. But yeah, that one book from 2021 had everything up until 2024. I left it in Mexico, and so the letter that I wrote to myself that I was supposed to read at the end of the year, it's in that journal. My word of the year is in that journal. And then all of the things that I was trying to manifest is in that journal. And it really breaks my heart that I left it. But I'm looking at the symbolism of it and just kind of deciding and allowing myself to believe that that part of my life, I really need to just shut the book. You see what I did there? I really need to just close that chapter and move on. And it even includes leaving that part of my life right there and moving on to the next step, to something bigger and better. Now, before I go into these 7 tips, I just want to say, in relation to me leaving my journal, Abraham Hicks, who is, if you search her up, if you don't know, you don't know, but if you search her up here on YouTube, you'll get familiar. Abraham Hicks has a saying that we as human beings, we love to regurgitate. We love to talk about things and talk through things. And a lot of what we're doing is keeping our reality present. And that's why we keep living the same reality over and over and over, because we keep talking about it and we keep telling the same story. And that's how I look at how leaving my journal means I don't need to reread and rehash and regurgitate that part of my life over and over and over. It's so symbolic to me that I actually left my journal, because that journal is coming from Jamaica to Panama, Colombia, and Mexico. And I can't believe I left it. But the symbolism stands out for me. It says I need to stop rehashing the past if I want to move to the next level of my life. And it also reinforces for me that I need to change the way I journal. And so that's why I'm actually doing this video, because yes, I am very passionate about journaling, but I also want to change the way I journal. I've been doing it all my life in this particular way. It's time to start new. It's time to do something fresh. It's time to take a belief that I have, that in order to stop reliving the same day over and over 365 days and then wondering why your years kind of look the same, it's time to start telling a different story. It's time to start actually mapping out and believing in the life that you want to live, writing that down in your journal and watching it manifest or watching the goals come to life, because your brain is just wired to actually, you have a goal, it's gonna start bringing you the opportunities, the plans, the steps to take to achieve that goal. The next question that might be top of mind for you is, do I need a specific journal? Take it from someone who has had the $50 fanciest journals to now I use a notebook for my journaling. You do not need the fancy journals. I get the, we want fancy things, we like nice things. It's kind of like the notion that you need nice clothes in order to go to the gym. We say that, we're motivating ourselves by having the nice journal and having the nice gym clothes. And if we look nice, we'll be motivated to go to the gym. So I get the notion that you want the fancy journals with all the prompts and the lines and the places to put everything. But when you're seasoned as me, you don't need all of that anymore. You kind of know what you want to write in your journal, and a notepad will do. And actually, I am starting to move away from even written journals now, because I travel so much and I don't want to actually leave behind my journal anywhere ever again, because it's so personal. And to think that I have left something there that someone could find and read, it's nerve-wracking to me. And so I've actually started doing some digital journaling. I will talk about that in another video though. Today, I really and truly just want to reinforce that you do not need a fancy journal, but if you'd like, I do have some suggestions of journals down in the description box below that you can use to start your journey. But here's how you're going to journal to achieve your goals this year. So the first thing that you want to do is to set a purpose, set a goal for the journal. The journal is not some place for you to just brain dump and that's it. If you want to have a different brain dump journal, that is fine, because I have different journals, different notebooks for different purposes. Like I used to have a personal journal, and then I have a business journal, which is more of a to-do list. These are the things that I need to do to get this business goal done. But if I open that business journal, I could flip back through. It's so funny how our lingua is changing nowadays. Everything is scroll, right? I could flip back and find a business idea in that book if I wanted to, from years ago, because this is how I keep my journals, and all my ideas are in these journals, right? So the first thing that you want to do is to set a purpose for your journal. If it's a brain dump journal, that's fine, because sometimes the busyness of our brain, we need to just get it out of our brain and onto paper and leave it alone. We might come back to it after. But for me, so my 2025 journal is all about the goals that I want to take this year in different aspects of my life. So you're going to probably set a goal for your health, your relationships, your money, your career, your whatever is important to you. You're going to want to start by categorizing the different goals that you have. And if you want to have different journals, like some people need a health journal where they can track their habits, like drink their water, do their exercise, all of that, then that's fine. And you have a business journal where you can track your money and all of that, that's fine too. But you want to set a purpose for your journaling. With this journal, I am going to achieve this goal. That's just going to help you to categorize and have a purpose. When you open a journal, you know exactly what's going in that journal when you start to write. The second thing that you want to do is set a time for your journaling. Are you going to journal in the morning? Are you going to journal at night? Are you going to do it in the middle of the day? That's kind of chaotic, but whatever works for you. I definitely was a morning journal person. I like to wake up and have it be a part of my morning routine. It helps me to build the day. It helps me to feel structured. Some people like to do it at night as kind of like a download of what happened throughout the day. And some people do it twice per day. Some people do it in the morning to kind of set the tone for their day. Some people do it at night to speak about the day, what happened, what didn't happen, what they like, what they want to change. They use it to plan ahead for the next day. So that is definitely something that you can do too. If you're new to journaling, the second thing that you might want to do is to use journal prompts. Journal prompts will help you to figure out what to write for today, because one of the reasons why I did not maintain a consistent daily journal practice is because some days are very repetitive. I did the exact same thing yesterday as I did today, and I'm probably going to do the same thing tomorrow. And so I find that I don't want to be writing the same thing in my journal day after day after day. I got up, I did my morning routine, I worked, I ate dinner, I went to bed. It's kind of like repetitive. So for those days when you're staring at a blank paper and you do not know what to write, use a journal prompt. Now, this is where the fancier journals come in. I actually created for myself, and it was a digital download, so I probably can package that and put it in the description box below as well. Free download. A journal with different journal prompts at the top of the page. So, if you're drawing a blank, you can just answer the question or use the prompt to guide you on what to write for that particular day. Now, you can also use AI to help you. So you can open up ChatGPT and say, give me a journal prompt for XYZ. Or I'm feeling this kind of mood. Give me a journal prompt to write about that. That kind of helps. Or you can simply Google or look here on YouTube for journal prompts. There are channels that will give you journal prompts. There are websites built on journal prompts for this, journal prompts for that, journal prompts for gratitude, journal prompts for anxiety, journal prompts for all kind of things. So if you need a prompt, use a prompt to help you to build that habit of journaling daily or at least a few times per week. Nothing wrong with that. I have my notes here, so when I look down, because I don't want to ramble too long, journaling is a passion of mine and I can talk about it all day. Number 3, how I'm using my journal to make sure that I achieve my goals is to express gratitude in my journal every single day. Now, you might be asking, how does that correlate? A lot of times when we are thinking that things are not working for us, things not going in our direction, things are not moving along, it benefits you to take the moment to express gratitude for the things that are going right. Because 10 times out of 10, once you're alive, there's something to be grateful for. And when you start to shift your mindset towards the things that are going right instead of the things that are going not so well, then your mind is a cluster. It's going to gravitate towards whatever is currently occupying your brain. And so if you're thinking about things that you're grateful for, it will find more things that you are, or it will find more ways to make you feel good, is all I'm really trying to say. It will find more things that you can be grateful for. So if you express every single day that you're so grateful this morning that your arms work, it doesn't have to be anything too fancy. You don't have to express gratitude because you won $10 million in the lotto. It doesn't have to be that big of a thing. You can really and truly get up and express gratitude because you had a bed to sleep in last night. You can express gratitude because you have tea to make for your morning tea, or you have fresh air so you can breathe. You woke up this morning. Gratitude number 1. Thank you, Lord, Heavenly Father, Allah, universe. Thank you for waking me up this morning. There is always something to be grateful for once you're alive. And expressing gratitude helps to shift your mindset, as I said, from negativity and whatever is bringing you down to positivity. And when you're writing or approaching your goals from a positive mindset, you're more adept. Is that the right word I'm looking for? You are more in tune to actually problem solving and figuring out what the next step is towards achieving your goals. And so that's the purpose here of actually taking a moment to be grateful, is shifting your mindset in a more positive vibration so that you feel more positive towards the goal that you're trying to achieve. Now, number 4, the 4th thing that you absolutely want to do with your journal every single time you open your journal to write is to have a section where you're planning or you're visualizing or you're writing about your goals every single day. Now, I love Abraham Hicks, Neville Graham, Joe Dispenza. all the manifesting, all the Napoleon Hill. I love all of the manifesting, personal development, all the old school people who talk about achieving goals. I've probably read their book or something from them. And all of them speak about keeping your goals top of mind. So it's the top of my year, and I kind of know how I want my year to go. I have a broad idea. And so one of the things that I've done, one separate journal entry, probably at the start of every single year, you're encouraged to do this, is to write a letter to yourself, but write it sitting maybe on Christmas Day for that year. So I have already written a letter to myself. It's written from the perspective that it's Christmas Day 2025. It's a reflection, a look back on my year. You're writing down everything that you want to happen this year, but you're writing about them as if they already have happened. This is what you want. So you want to do this on two levels. You want to do it for the year because this is, this video is supposed to be how I'm using my journal to help me achieve my goals. So you definitely want to do that letter. You want to write it in either present tense or past tense. You want to write it with gratitude in there. So if one of my goals is to get to 10,000 YouTube followers, then in my letter, I'm going to say something like, I'm so happy that, I completely surpassed my goal of 10,000 subscribers on YouTube this year. It has helped me to live my life, blah, 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 blah. And, you put whatever else, you give it as much meat and emotions in the letter. But you absolutely want to write out that letter to yourself, kind of like recapping everything that you did this year. And then you want to in order to keep that goal top of mind, you kind of want to read that letter to yourself every single time you open your journal, just to remind yourself of what the purpose and what the plans are for this year. Now you can do that on a micro level as well. So if you're a night journaler, for instance, you can write out about your day tomorrow. You want to visualize how your day is going to go, and you want to kind of plan it out. So you want to still write about it in the present tense though. So you're going to say something like, this is especially helpful if you have like a big meeting or a big appointment or something, and you want to visualize and kind of plan out your day tomorrow. So in the journal, you're going to make a journal entry that looks something like, I'm so grateful for life. I'm so grateful for the energy. I'm so grateful for a positive outcome at the doctor. My lunch is absolutely nutritious. It can be difficult to keep things in the present tense, but what you don't want to do is write in the future tense. Like, you don't want to say I will or this is going to happen, because then it will forever stay in the future tense. We want these things to be happening for us now. So you want to build a habit, build that muscle of writing in the present tense, or you can even write in the past if it feels more comfortable for you. But when you're visualizing, and I can do a separate video on visualizing because it is absolutely powerful when it comes to setting your goals. They say that athletes and actors and all of these people, when they're playing, when actors are in a movie, they visualize themselves in the role. When athletes are running a race or playing a basketball match, they sit in silence and visualize themselves running that race. They see it, they feel the emotions. The race happens in their mind before it actually happens. And I want the same for you when it comes to goal setting, whether on a year level or on a day level. You sit with your journal and kind of visualize how your day is going to go, so that you're ready. You wake up ready for the day the next day, and you already have your plan. This is how everything's going to go, and you're just kind of going through the motions. That's how powerful journaling can be, when you sit down and you control your day and you map it out and you visualize it and you're ready for it. Yes. The fifth thing that you absolutely want to do with your journal, and this is on a personal development, this is on a personal growth tip. You want to question yourself all the time. You want to get to know yourself on a deeper level. You're going to do this by questioning yourself. So if something happened in your day, or if you're a morning journaler, if something happened yesterday or last week and it's nigging in your head, you're going to question yourself. Why did I do that? Why did I react this way? What's going on with me? Why I felt this way? How come this is still in my brain? Like, question yourself deeply, because the answers, when you listen, them some mad people talk to themselves, when you answer yourself, you get to know yourself even deeper, and then you get to course correct if that is the case. When it comes to goal setting, you can do the same thing. What's something that I can do tomorrow to move the needle 2%? What is something that I can ask my boss tomorrow that's going to help me to achieve this goal? What is something I can do in the gym tomorrow that's going to help me have more toned arms? What can I take for lunch tomorrow that's going to actually increase my magnesium levels? You want to get that micro level. You want to question yourself all the time, because those answers are going to be the answers are the little gems that are actually helping you to like answer to yourself. Like, so I am not someone I'm working on this, so let me not put it that way. I am working on being enough of a motivator for myself. Like, some of the times I will have health goals and I just choose to veg out on the couch and forget about it. And I realize that sometimes myself is not a motivation enough for me. Like, okay, I want to, be slim. I want to look good in my clothes. Sure. But how badly do I want to look good in my clothes? Because really, I just want to sit down in this couch right now. However, if I'm doing it for someone else, I feel like I'm more motivated, which I'm working on it. I know, I'm working on it. But it very often works for me when I say, you know what? I want to be around just in case I do have grandchildren in the day, and I want to be able to chase them around and things like that. So let me get up and so I'm using my daughter and my future grandchildren and all kind of things to motivate me to do those health things. Like, if you can't do it for yourself, do it for somebody else that you really care about. When you question yourself, you get to the bottom. You get to the idea of doing things for you. You get to the basis of who you are and what motivates you, and why. You get to your why. And the why is the impetus for all of these goals that we have. All of them boil down to something. And it can be argued that every single goal boils down to all of us want freedom of time. We want freedom of time to be able to do what we want to do, to look how we want to look, to buy what we want to buy, to love who we want to love. All of it kind of boils down to time, to freedom. But when you get to your individual why, you don't need motivation as much. You find the discipline to act on these goals. And I find that questioning yourself helps a lot with finding your why, and therefore finding the purpose of the goal. Because it's one thing to set a goal and say, I want to lose 20 pounds this year. But it's another thing when you ask yourself why. Why do you want to lose 20 pounds this year? And when you be truthful and honest with yourself, because it's your journal, no one else is going to read your journal unless you leave it in Mexico. But anyway, when you are truthful to yourself and you find the purpose behind your goals, sometimes you no longer need motivation. The discipline, the why becomes the discipline. I really and truly want to fit into this dress for summer. Let me get up and actually do this thing today to help me make that goal. So for number 6, something else that you want to do with your journal, something else that I'm doing with my journal, is writing affirmations every single day. Now, the affirmations that I'm writing are closely related to the limiting beliefs that I may have. Because, all right, so limiting beliefs are, negative self-talk. We all have some negative self-talk, something in the back of our head that we're working through, we're trying to be better people at. And a lot of the time, the limiting beliefs are self-imposing. We believe that we are not. So for instance, we were just talking about me not having the discipline or motivation sometimes to do fitness things because I just can't bother. Affirmations help me to shift that. So if I truly believe that, I'm a lazy person, that's not something that I want to own at all. So how I'm shifting my mindset to seeing myself as a different person is challenging the limiting belief and writing affirmations to assure myself, or to change my mindset towards myself, to remind myself that that's not true. That's not me. And I don't want to make that true of myself. So I'm going to write my positive affirmations that challenge those same beliefs. I can do hard things. I am a disciplined person. I don't need motivation or external motivation to get up and do what's right. When I write those affirmations in my book, it solidifies in my subconscious that I am these things that I'm affirming. And all of us need a little bit of affirmation, whether from internal or external. Writing those affirmations daily, it has subconscious level effect. And so you want to write affirmations daily, but affirmations that I find are more effective when they directly relate to limiting self-beliefs that you currently have. You want to shift your mindset away from that. So you write your affirmation until you start to believe what you're writing and you start to act accordingly. So the last thing that I have, tip number 7, how I'm using my journal to achieve my goals this year, is to, of course, track progress. Now, this is why some people like the fancy journals, because it has tracker pages where you can track how much glasses of water you've had, how many steps you've taken, how many times you went to the gym this week, how much money you saved this week, whatever the goals are. It has trackers. I don't really need all of that. I just kind of want to see it in my book, but I definitely see the pull of having like a fancy graph that shows me everything laid out, especially over a long time period, like over the entire year. So for this purpose, I would say some digital tools help. But again, I have another video planned on how I'm using a few digital tools to complement my journaling practice. So I'll leave that for another video. But you want to track your progress on your goals so that you can celebrate every single win. So if the goal is to get to 100,000 YouTube subscribers, every single week I'm going to celebrate if I get 7 subscribers. I'm going to celebrate if I published 3 videos or 2 videos or even 1 video. I'm going to celebrate my wins because it motivates me to keep going, especially when you have tangible wins. So if my goal is to lose 30 pounds and I lost 2 pounds this week, then you feel especially good. So you definitely want to keep track of exactly what you're doing, because if I didn't lose any weight, I have the opportunity now to go back and look at my week and see what I did, what can I tweak so that I have a better result next week, right? So everybody knows the benefits of tracking goals, but I just really wanted to remind and reiterate that your journal is a great place to do that, is to track your goals so that you can analyze, you can reflect, and you can change course if needed so that you stay on course to achieve your goals. That's all I have for you today. I really hope that this video was helpful. And if you find this kind of content helpful, please let me know in the comments below so that I can keep going, because journaling, as I said, is something that will absolutely help you to achieve your goals. Journaling can change your whole life. I have some cute little journaling stories that I can share in another video if you want. So please let me know in the comments if you want me to share how journaling changed my life, some specific examples of how I used my journal to manifest or to achieve my goals. Let me know in the comments below and I will do those videos for you. Again, let me know if this helps. My name is Monique from Kingston, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me today.